Hi folks, Pickleball Librarian here today, and I'm going to review a book, Pickleball Faith, Inspiration on and Off the Court by Stephanie Lynn Harp. Just a couple notes I want to add. Stephanie Lynn Harp runs the Bible Radio News, and myself, I am a Christian. I'm a member of the United Methodist Church. Um, for the past year or so, I haven't been going to my church regularly, maybe 2 years at least. And the reason why is my son has a wonderful gift of music, and the local VA, their chapel, they don't have a music budget. And my son, he donates his musical skill, and it's just a beautiful thing to see what he does for our wounded warriors. Anyone out there who is patriotic, consider volunteering at the VA. Anyway, Pickleball Faith. Despite the fact that you see a cross here and all this, this is more than a Christian book. This is a book for anyone. This book is not preachy, it's not political, but it's our journey as pickleball players. The chapters in it are so unique because it talks about building a community. And we've all been there. When we look at pickleball, who we play with, it's not just us and three other players on the court and paddles and balls. It's a community. It's who we are, who we know, and when we go see them. It's kind of neat because she almost started the book where she talked about how much time she spends on church and what she does and how much time she's spending on the court. She realizes that she's spending more time on the court, and that's her community. And next chapter is a pickleball people. The relationship is the cure. That is so cool because whenever there's a problem out there, when you go to the base of it, the relationship is the cure. So guys, right now I have a mustache because I'm still in my Ted Lasso mode. And I asked Stacy Lynn if she saw Ted Lasso, the show, but she hasn't. So I talked about Dale Carnegie and how to win friends and influence people. So if Ted Lasso and Dale Carnegie got together and wrote a book, it will probably be this, Pickleball Faith. Because this book doesn't talk about how to play pickleball as far as technique and strategy. This talks about how to be a human being, how to, do unto others as you want them to do on you, how to treat people. All these stories of, there's cupcakes involved, there's birthdays involved, and there's, people who just don't get along with you and how to deal with them. And lots of great stories in here. Let's see. Playing with the beginner, what to do. What's the right thing to do. Looking at it from the beginner's perspective. Being teachable. What to do when conflicts arise. Lots of good things. Now for a powerful part. On the death of your friend. Wow. This is a very touching story. Reading it was very powerful. Because as we play pickleball, we're going to lose people. And we've lost people on the court recently here in Topeka. COVID's been very powerful, but we lose people from other things too. And that's part of being life. As we get older, we're going to lose more people. So when I was, reading this too, I was telling, Stacy Lynn that she's got a great voice and you got to consider putting this in an audible recording. And she did. And she was kind enough to send me the chapter where she talked about the death of a friend. And oh my goodness. Wow. Reading it was touching enough, but hearing her read it, it just was something else. I mean, even though I was mentally prepared for what was happening, it just really pulled a lot of emotion out of me. And, Stacy Lynn, yes, she's a great Christian, but she's also a great human being. These are caring people. And, I really recommend reading this book, and I would tell you it's a short, easy read, but this isn't the kind of book you can sit and read through, because as I'm reading it, I'm thinking about it. Wow, that's me back when 2 years ago, or hey, I've been there, I've done that, I'm going through this. That's what's so neat about this book. So I have to admit, a lot of times when I read books, I tend to prefer a Kindle version, because I like the portability. This is my Oasis that I have. It's very portable. Oh, nice stamp right there. Let's see. It timed out on me. Oh. And you can put notes too, guys. You can highlight things. So, two of my favorite shows, by the way, on the Bible Radio News are the ones that Stacy Lynn had her husband interview her about the book. And they're, by the way, very nice couple and a lot of chemistry between them. And he also has a great voice. But another great episode that she had was one when she interviewed Stephanie Lane. And what stood out the most to me about Stephanie was her joy and attitude. You know, that's true. So as I close out talking about this book, it has one of my highest endorsements. I really think everyone should read this book in pickleball. It's just a great journey, and how she talks about it, you really feel like you're there with her. But as I move on to a different thing, I want to talk about the spirit of pickleball. Folks who tell you what pickleball is, who take the ball and bring it to the community, where they show the relationship is the cure. And Stephanie Lane is one of our people we want to award. Hence, that's why I'm wearing the Paddle Tech. And this is my favorite Paddle Tech paddle, the Tempest Wave Pro. And I believe Stephanie Lane also likes this paddle. I've met Stephanie Lane. I've hung out with her about 3 times. And each time she's been gracious enough to help me with some of my projects I've been working on. We've interviewed her before. You can probably find it in some of our one of our older videos. But Stephanie not only is a Christian, but she's also a good person, and I don't think she's ever really asked me about my faith, and she's always been there to help me. So that tells me that she's not a person who's gonna say, "Hey, tell me more about you before I help you." She's not like that, and that's kind of cool. Another Christian I want to go ahead and give the award to while I'm thinking about it, and by the way, this award goes out to just good people. Is Rocket or Rodney Grubbs of Pickleball Rocks. Rodney has done so much for pickleball. I mean, if you really did a deep dive and found how many websites he owns, how many he manages, and what he does for pickleball, it's amazing. All the resources he has out there available, what he's done for the game, what he's done for spreading the game. I mean, Pickleball Rocks, which his apparel company made these shirts and these hats. These ones right here, not the Paddle Tech one, but and Rodney is a helpful person. His family also very helpful. One of our team members, Kirk, has a neat story to tell about Rodney, where Kirk was just having a bad day on the court at a tournament, and he happened to run across Rocket, and Rocket just gave him some solid advice of what to do. And I'll have Kirk probably someday tell us that story. So anyway, as I tell you, Pickleball Faith is definitely Pickleball Librarian approved. Man, one of the best books out there about someone's personal journey through pickleball and how their faith has shaped them and shaped the way they play their game. Definitely a great book. And as I mentioned before, our Spirit of Pickleball award goes out to Stephanie Lane and also Rodney Grubbs, aka Rocket. Man, so this is a lot in the video, and I hope you get a chance to read this book. And if you ever get a chance to meet Stephanie Lane or Rocket, meet them. When you're in front of great people, just who are special, that are out there, you just know it. I mean, the connection's there, and you can tell their spirit. It just comes through, and they're willing to help you out. So anyway, happy reading, and hope to see you on the court.